welcome to the newest edition of Wednesday Night Mayhem live on StreamYard and YouTube.com. This is good old MF Michael Fletcher, the brand new host of Wednesday Night Mayhem, and from now on, executive producer of the shows as well. As many of you may know, or some of you may not have known, on Monday night, Anthony Florio made the exclusive announcement. Derek Ferreira has stepped down and retired from basically podcasting. A lot of things were happening in his life that he needed to step away, and he had named me the new host of Wednesday Night Mayhem, and thus turned me as the new executive producer for everything strictly sports and wrestling form related. So, with that said, welcome to a dawning of a new era, and we hope that you guys will enjoy it, and we will definitely continue the great work that Derek started a couple of weeks ago, and we rest assure you, tonight will be one of those nights. So, as always, Derek likes to do it by talking about one match on one show, one match on the other show, and we decide at that point who won the battle. So, I'm not going to stray away from that format. We're going to continue that, and we kick it off with All Elite Wrestling, as it was the first fight of the night, as it was SCU, Southern Cal Unlimited, as it was Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian, as they went up against the Best Friends. This was part of the tournament for the tag team tournament to determine the first ever AEW World Tag Team Champions. And then on NXT, what we had, our first fight of the night was Tommaso Ciampa versus Angel Garza. And when it was all said and done, Tommaso Ciampa wins the match in 3 minutes and 17 seconds, while in AEW, it was SCU getting the victory at 10 minutes and 18 seconds. AEW wins the match. AEW wins the battle. Round one goes to them. 3.5 stars for AEW. This was a good fight. Great way to start the show. Good tag team action, to say the very least. I love the pacing and everything else here. And really nothing else to go on that one. For NXT, I could give this about maybe 1.5 stars. It was more to show Tommaso Ciampa, to give him really good offense, to get some momentum back. This was his first fight back since the injury, so they kind of played it safe with Ciampa. There's really nothing more for me to add here. So, Anthony Floyo, come on in, bro. Give me your thoughts on this one. I'm going to give the victory to AEW on this one.
I agree. AEW wins this one as well. Great way to start it off. Solid tag team matchup. And, MF, I pretty much agreed on everything. Did any of us really think that Angel Garza was going to do anything against Ciampa? No way. That was a showcase for Ciampa, like MF said. I couldn't agree with that more. You obviously need to take it slow with Ciampa because he's coming off a very serious injury, the neck injury, and but I'll tell you what, Garza is someone you got to keep an eye on. I mean, I've seen him on 205 Live, especially that feud he had with Humberto Carrillo, which was some great stuff, to be honest. The spot with Ciampa demeaning the Mexican flag was such a throwback to a gross xenophobic era. It was framed as Ciampa going rogue or whatever, but it's unlikely to be waved away so easily. Ciampa looked good, and Garza continued to look like a star in the making. The the contents of the flash drive were framed as a major reason to stay with the show. So, referring to the little thing afterward. That was about 1.5. I agree with that. You nailed that on the head. And great to see my old friend Frankie Kazarian. I mean, he's someone I have been a fan of, since the days of TNA, even before being a part of my all-time favorite faction, the Fortune 4, hence my avatar here. But the tournament to crown the brand new or the inaugural AEW World Tag Team Champions. And of course Christopher Daniels, I can't forget about him either. I mean, those two just have been so fun to watch. And but SCU, I'm not surprised they won it. I mean, the crowd ate it up. It was filled with big spots nonstop. The Lucha Brothers attack before the match seems to telegraph a match between them and the tournament is coming up. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But solid 3.25 for the AEW match. So yes, MF, you nailed this one. AEW wins the first round handily. A more competitive tag team match, whereas we had a squash showcase for Tommaso Ciampa. So really nothing more to say. AEW wins the round here. So Michael Bullock, come on in. Let's get your thoughts.
Yeah, I agree. AEW to me wins wins the round with for the first matches for both shows. So yeah, for the Tommaso Ciampa Angel Garza match, I mean, yeah, did you really think Garza was gonna win? I don't think so. I mean, and obviously, obviously they don't want to really push Tommaso Ciampa because you wanted to showcase him. I mean, especially coming back from a serious neck injury. I mean, yeah, and he looked good, but like I said, they wanted to go easy on him. So yeah, then he was confronted by all the members of the Undisputed Era and Kyle O'Reilly with giving the announcers the flash drive was one stick around. So nothing more to say as far as SCU and the best friends. I'll give that about 3.5. I mean, it was a solid tag team match as the tournament continues to crown the inaugural AEW World Tag Team Champion. So there's really nothing more for me to add to that. So I'm just gonna give it to Dee Woodson. So Dee, it's yours.
As far as NXT, I'm gonna probably give it maybe 1.5 stars. It was really short, and yeah, it was just basically trying to show Ciampa's able to come back and stuff like that. So, and then you had the Disputed Era bit, So yeah, that was good. Kind of a nice way to start, and entertaining, just what it kind of needed to be. But definitely AEW won tonight. 3.5 stars. Despite the fact that Christopher Daniels got hurt, I mean, they still managed to pull it. SCU still managed to pull it off, and it was a very well done. Very good match. So, yeah, I don't have too much more to say about it. So, Fletch, let's move on.
All right. And round 2, we had a pair of tag team matches. We had Santana and Ortiz, formerly LAX, going up against Alex Reynolds and John Silver. Santana and Ortiz won the match in 2 minutes and 17 seconds, where on NXT, we had Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan going up against two members of Imperium, as it was Fabian Ancher and Marcel Batel with Alexander Wolf in their corner, and Imperium gets the victory at 5 minutes and 4 seconds. Anthony Florio, who had the better tag team match?
Oh boy, that is tough. I mean, Fabian Eichner, Marcel Barthel. Let's see, 8 minutes and 37 seconds for that bout. Santana and Ortiz against Reynolds and Silver. No, this is NXT. NXT wins this one. I would have to say maybe 2.5, about 2.5, maybe 3. Although I'm leaning more towards 2.5. It was nice to see that the Imperium henchmen aren't only there to enhance for Walter. The match was awesome, of course, in the waning minutes. Half the match, of course, was the commercial break. That's why the 2.5-star rating. The other would have to say about 1. I know, and rightfully so, that a lot of wrestling fans are going to be waiting to see this kind of time and energy poured into getting someone else over on the roster soon. And that was great in certain ways. But, it was basically a showcase. That's really what it was. So it was a tale of two matches here. I mean, in the first round, we had a showcase match on NXT. This time around, we had a showcase on AEW for Santana and Ortiz. I've been high on those guys since their Impact days. And, that's really all I can say on that. I mean, them and the Luchas, I mean, boy, howdy, those two tore it up. Let me tell you. So, but round 2 to NXT. NXT wins this one. So, nothing more to say. Bolik, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give the this round to NXT as well. I'm gonna give that the tag team with Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch and the two members of Imperium a 2.5-star match. It was a good match. I mean, it was a little short, but they did showcase in the amount of time they did get. So, yeah. And as far as the other one, in only 2 minutes. I hate to say it, but that was a dud as far as I'm concerned. But it's basically to show off the members of LAX. I mean, especially to show with that new group that was formed by Chris Jericho that they are strong. So, yeah, so there's really nothing more to say here. NXT wins round 2. Dee Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Definitely NXT won round 2. I'll give that one about 2.5 stars. And AEW, just way too short. I like watching the guys, but the match was just a squash match, so I'm not really even going to rate that one. So it's yours, Fletch.
It's a unanimous decision, total agreement. NXT gets the victory in the tag team battle. So it gives it 1-1 for the night. But now we raise up and we go into the next fight of the night. AEW goes with one of their marquee fights of the night for the AEW Women's Championship of the World. The champion Ryu puts the title on the line against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. And on NXT, we had a women's fight as it was Kaden Carter going one-on-one with Io Shirai. Io Shirai wins the match in 2 minutes and 37 seconds in NXT. And in AEW, Ryu successfully defends the title. She wins the match at 9 minutes and 10 seconds. Michael Bullock, you lead off. Who do you give the victory to in the battle of the women's matches?
Oh, without question, AEW wins round 3 here. No doubt about it. The AEW women's title match. I'm going to give it an even 3 stars. I mean, this was definitely a good match. I mean, we did have a little bit of Shakespearean drama in this match, but yeah, Rio definitely impresses and shows everyone why she is the AEW Women's Champion. And as far as the Io Shirai and match goes, I hate to say it, but that was a dud. I mean, it's just to show off Io Shirai. But then after the match, I mean, Io Shirai was saying, I'm deserving of the shot at the NXT Women's title, not Rhea Ripley, not Bianca Belair. Well, let's say, guys, someone decided to come out and have a few little choice words, and that was Rhea Ripley, and saying, if you ever mention my name again, I'm gonna make you my worst nightmare. So she basically sent out a warning to Io Shirai. And of course, it has been confirmed. Of course, next week on NXT, it's going to be Rhea Ripley going up against Bianca Belair. So, yeah, this should be a good one. I can't wait to see how that goes. I think, to me, I don't know how you guys are going to feel about this, but I think whoever wins that match, I think will be the one to get the shot at Shayna Baszler in the NXT title. And I'll even go as far as to say I think Rhea Ripley is going to be the next number one contender, because, I mean, Bianca Belair has already had her chance at Shayna Baszler. And, of course, we already know about Io Shirai, so we want to see someone fresh, someone new to get an opportunity at Shayna Baszler's NXT Women's title. So, nothing more for me to say. AEW wins round 3, so Didi, what's yours?
Yeah, AEW definitely won this round. It was basically NXT, another squash match with some impressive moves. Not really going to rate it because it was just really short. I'll give 3 stars to AEW's champion match. That one was definitely a lot better match. They went a lot longer, and I had to say, Rihu reminds me of one of those little anime characters. She's just, that darn cute, the way she acts and wrestles, and just her, her little look, being 22 years old and doing this for so long. So yeah, Baker definitely, she looked good, but she definitely needs to try a little harder and maybe work out a few kinks before she goes again for the title. So I don't have much more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
I totally agree. AEW wins this round hands down, and there's no argument on this one. 3 stars for the AEW women's title fight. And, to harp on what Didi Woodson would say, this is almost like the little sister that I've never had. She is cute as a button, and I'm talking about Ryu, our reigning champion. She definitely is that girl next door. She has, like she said, she's got like this, I want to say like a Sailor Moon type like she reminds me of like the Sailor Moon cartoon. You talked about the anime, which is very, very true, Dee Dee, and she is like cute as a button, total sweetheart, girl next door type thing. And the thing is that her style, and she's got that luchadora type Japanese style that is so unique and so refreshing. It's a unique style in AEW, and she is practically the perfect representation as the AEW Women's World Champion. She proved it again tonight to beat Britt Baker, who's no slouch whatsoever. She is a really good, talented wrestler, but for her to win, for Rio to get the victory, and that's now 2 big victories, knocking off Nyla Rose to become the champion, to beat Britt Baker, to successfully defend the title. I mean, that is not a small feat. Nyla Rose is a big name. Britt Baker, huge name, and she's knocked both of them off now. So the star is rising for Ryu right now. As far as NXT goes, yeah, too short. I'm not going to say much. It is a showcase fight for Bianca Belair, but boys and lady in the room, that fight between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair is going to be epic. And yes, Mike Bullock, I'm going to go with you as well. I think Rhea Ripley should win that fight. And I'm going to go as far to say it. If it turns to be Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's title, look out below. That could be not only a fight of the night, that could be the NXT Women's Fight of the Year. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it's all yours, my friend.
It would be the female equivalent of a Be a Man fight. That's what it would be. It would be a Be a Woman.
On that, Florio.
It would be a Be a Woman match if we get Ripley and Baszler, which I think will happen. AEW wins the round here. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. The match with Rio and Baker, not the greatest, if I'm going to be honest with you. I hope we can all be in agreement on that. It was an unremarkable match, hurt by a complete lack of setting the context. However, it picked up late, and it earned the crowd involvement in the near falls at the end, and that's why you got to give the edge here. 3 stars, 3.25. That's about the best I can go for Rio and Baker. The other, that's pretty much a cutout rating for me. Theme of the night, showcases, and we had another showcase this time for the Genius of the Sky, Io Shirai, who I've been high on since her run in the Mae Young Classic a year ago, being the runner-up to Toni Storm. So that's really all I can say on that. So the round here definitely goes to AEW, no doubt about it. So nothing more to say except the next round here. And oh boy, NXT, get ready. Epicness. And one of the greatest Be a Man fights you can ever ask for is coming.
Oh, yeah. And not only that, but AEW fired a missile themselves. A really good tag team tournament match as well, as we had Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, and Lucha Garza. They went up. They went up against the Lucha Brothers, Phoenix, and Pentagon Jr. And when it was all said and done, as it ended up being the Lucha Brothers, they win the match in 10 minutes and 51 seconds. But like Anthony said, in NXT, Keith Lee versus Donovan Dijakovic, the winner of the fight would get to earn a shot for the North American Championship. The fight gets thrown out. 15 minutes and 20 seconds. Roderick Strong interferes in the match to try to take both of them out. Well, William Regal ain't having that. He thought he was clever and called him Sunshine, but punished Roderick Strong by saying that next week on NXT, it's a triple threat match for the North American Championship. Keith Lee, Donovan Dijakovic, and Roderick Strong is going to fight for the North American title next week in NXT. Oh. All right. Dee Woodson, you got the tough task. Who won this round?
Oh, man. This one was a little harder to call. I mean, NXT, it was a really great fight going on before Roger got involved. It started off slow, but they got going after a while, and it was ended up being a really great match. So I'm going to probably give that one about 3.5 stars. I might have to give the edge a little bit to NXT. The other one, it was good. It was a lot of fun. Lucha's definitely dominated, but I mean, Jurassic Express, they gave a lot of excitement. Also, I mean, just some of the creative aerial moves they came up with and stuff like that. I mean, it was just really, really fun. But that one I'll have to probably give about 3 stars. But yeah, I think maybe NXT probably walked away with this one, but this one definitely was a little bit tougher to judge between which one was better. So not much more I'm going to say about it. It's yours, Fletch.
Me being basically being the guy who loves be a man fight, I gotta give this to NXT. Even though I liked the Luchas versus the Jurassic Express. That was a nice fight, but this fight was everything you hoped for. Really good match as expected. Yes, I don't mind the screwy finish, but this was one of the best fights when it comes to storytelling, when it comes to the psychology, everything else. NXT won this by a good margin. I'm going to give the AEW fight maybe 2.5 stars. This fight, you could even make an argument for fight of the night. That's how good this was. 3.5 to 3.75 of a star for me. Anthony, I think I know where you're going. I think when you were talking and you were hyping it, I'm kind of sensing victory to NXT.
You damn right. Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, MF. Lee and Dijakovic, I mean, they never disappoint. And this was the best match of the series right here. I mean, I could give this 4.25 to 4.5 stars. That's how damn good the match was. I mean, it's not just the body of work of the two guys. You also got to throw in the crowd. The crowd was red hot for it. And of course, our boy, Mauro Ranallo. Do I even have to go any further? I mean,
no, you don't.
Anytime you get some Mamma Mias and Mauro going nuts, freaking out like he always does, that does it. That puts it over the top. The near falls, it had the feel of Shakespearean drama in the air. Normally, we frown upon DQ finishes. I mean, it's not often we get one in NXT. I mean, we usually think about the main roster easily, whether it's Raw, SmackDown, or even a pay-per-view, for goodness sakes. But not often we get it in NXT, but this is one that made sense. Roddy Strong being the chicken bleep heel champion here. Classic chicken bleep heel stuff right here. No doubt about that. But Mr. Regal put him in his place. And Sunshine, you got to defend the title against both men. Forget one. You got to defend them against both. You throw Roddy into this mix, oh my goodness, this thing could be even more epic. I'm going to be tuning into that next week. I don't care what AEW has going up against it. I'm gonna make that match a vested interest. That's all I can say on that. That's the appointment match right there. That's 4.25 to 4.5 stars for that match right there. For the Lee and Dijakovic match, even with the finish. 3 to 3.25 theme of the night for AEW. I mean, set it all up here. A couple of old standbys were used here. The heel who interferes after 15 minutes, where either guy could have long since won, and a heel champion acting surprised at this call, despite it always being the call. The match, naturally, another stellar outing for the two, perhaps their best. They both look incredibly dominant, and that won't change in the triple threat. The dynamic should be fun to watch next week, and the triple threat allows Roddy to do the usual chicken bleep heel things to retain. As for the other one, they were throwing a curveball there. But that went too long, given the size difference with Stunt. they did a good job given the circumstances, making it seem plausible Marco could hang that long, but it is what it is. So 3.25 for the AEW. For Leon Dijakovic, for me, the fight of the night. I don't give a damn about the finish. 4.25, 4.5. It would have been 5 if not for Roddy, but I can give it 4.25 to 4.5. Well done. Nothing more to say. Bullock, how do you follow that?
I don't even know how you can, guys. But yeah, normally we frown upon these these finishes. And you know what we normally do when we do this. We normally give this any match that ends in a no contest in NA, but this is one time, guys, that we're not going to do it. No way whatsoever after what we saw with these two. 4.25 to 4.5. I do agree. This was the fight of the night. I mean, it would have been straight up 5 if Roderick Strong did not interfere. I mean, yeah, him being the chicken bleep heel, basically his way of saying, you know what, I'm going to attack both of them, and this is going to end in a no contest, so I don't have to put the title up against anyone. Yeah, Roddy. I mean, you thought you could get away with it, but I mean, how many times, guys, have we seen a certain superstar try to do something like this just so that he or she doesn't put the title on the line and they think it's going to work? How many times, guys, do you think that happens?
I have no clue. I really don't.
And do you ever think that it's going to work?
No, not at all.
Yeah. Well, Roderick Strong should have learned his lesson. But now he's going to have to defend the title next week in a triple threat against both Keith Lee and Djokovic. So, yeah, if you thought a match between these two was good, now you throw Roderick Strong. Man, oh man, I'm definitely going to be tuned in next week, no doubt about it. So, and as far as the AEW tag team match, I'll give it about 3 to 3.25 as well. But yeah, definitely NXT won this round. So nothing more to say, Fletch. Let's just move on.
Unfortunately for NXT, after this, a lot of it would all just kind of cut out fights. So the next fight that was there was for NXT. I'm just gonna go right through it, so you guys don't have to call it. Matt Riddle versus Bronson Reed. Matt Riddle wins the match in 3 minutes and 3 seconds. Good showcase fight for Matt Riddle. Then we had Tegan Knox versus Tiana. Tegan Knox wins the match 2 minutes and 53 seconds. And then we had Killian Dane versus Boa. And Killian Dane won his match in 3 minutes and 38 seconds. We'll get into the main event in just a minute. But for AEW, they threw their match out, and boy, did this deliver. Adam Hangman Page and Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley and Pac. When it was all said and done, Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page wins the match in 11 minutes and 31 seconds. Okay, barn burner, good fight, star quality match, good spots, very sensible fight. I loved it. I enjoyed it. This was a solid fight, to say the very least. For me, this was at least a 3.5 star fight. Very, very, very well done of a match. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
Great tag team matchup here. When it comes to the AEW side of things, this was their fight of the night. No question about it. 4 to 4.25 stars for me. I mean, 4 excellent workers showcasing their abilities, and I liked how they addressed that both tag teams, Pac and Pac and Moxley and Omega and Page. I mean, they ain't besties. No, they're not. I mean, both tag teams, they were not besties, man. And they showed it here tonight. I mean, this was a fantastic match. And, this was overall the second best fight of the shows here. This was really well done. This was 4 to 4.25 stars for me. Great matchup between 4 excellent competitors. I enjoyed it very much. No doubt about it. So, nothing more to say. Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll give it 4 stars for the match here. I mean, all 4 of these guys definitely told a story here. I mean, with everything going down with John Moxley and Kenny Omega, and of course Pac and Hangman Page, and yeah, I mean, they really delivered on this match here tonight. So yeah, I mean, it definitely sets the table for AEW's next pay-per-view. I mean, especially when you got Moxley and Omega going at it. But man, oh man, I mean, what was so crazy about it, guys, was John Moxley turned on his own partner. And now I just heard next week on AEW Dynamite, it's going to be John Moxley against Pac. So we'll wait and see how that goes. So 4 stars for me. This was the fight of the night on the AEW side. So Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, this is definitely a fight of the night for AEW, just like the last one was for NXT. Yeah, I'm going to go probably about 4 stars for the match. I mean, it was very, very well done. Great crowd for all 4 guys. And yeah, I mean, I think the right guys ended up winning in the end. Who couldn't see, Moxley and Pac exploding the way they did. So yeah, not much more I'm gonna say about it. Fletch, it's yours.
At that point, it leads us to the main events of the evening. AEW had the world title on the line. Chris Jericho to put it against Darby Allin in a Philly street fight. And for NXT, their main event of the evening, it was Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight, going one-on-one against Damian Priest. When it was all said and done, your NXT main event winner was Damian Priest. 14 minutes and 15 seconds. And in the AEW world title fight, the winner of the bout and still AEW World Heavyweight Champion Chris Jericho in 13 minutes and 25 seconds. Anthony Florio?
I got it.
Who do you give the victory to?
Simple. NXT. NXT gets the victory here by a smidge. Both matches were great, but if I'm going to be honest with you, there was just something about the Dunne and Priest fight that I felt was a little bit better, if I'm going to be quite honest.
Okay.
Sounds like we might have a disagreement on our hands, but we'll see.
No, I actually agree. I just said okay. That's all.
Okay.
Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong.
Okay, just making sure. 3.5 to 4. It's 3.5 to 4 for the Dunne and Priest match. Now I'm going to be honest with you once again. I'm going to be brutally honest here. Every time I sit through a Pete Dunne match, I can't help but cringe. Because every time he goes for those damn fingers. Oh, my God. It makes me so damn squeamish. I have to turn away. I'm like, God, I can't watch this. Oh, God, I can't watch those fingers. Dude, I get it. I get why they call you the Bruiserweight, but come on, man. Have mercy on me, please. Dude. Oh, now I know why MF loves him so damn much. I get it now. I finally get it now. Now I know why MF has had the love affair with this young man. I get it. But nonetheless, he is fun to watch, though. All kidding aside. I mean, he is fun to watch. I just hate I just hate the finger spots. That's it. But other than that, he is a damn good wrestler. I mean, you know why he held the NXT UK title for 685 days. I mean, unreal. Damian Priest, the former Punishment Martinez. I mean, it was my first time ever seeing him wrestle in a match, and I was impressed. I was very impressed. I mean, I know MF has seen many of his matches from his ROH days and whatnot, but it was very good action. And although it seemed like Priest was the priority here, there was some doubt. I mean, the character shift for Priest is a great idea, and it already looks like it's paying off. The question remains is, what is Pete Dunne's purpose in NXT US? Is it simply just to put guys over? A jobber to the stars almost. But that's really all there is to say on that. But it was a fun match, though. 3.5 to 4 stars. As for the AEW match, about 3.25, 3.5. That's what I will give. Outcome was never in doubt. We all knew Jericho was going to successfully defend the title. I mean, as I said last week when we were with Derek, I'll say it again with UMF and everybody this week. The big money match in AEW is November 9th at the Full Gear in Baltimore when Chris Jericho puts the AEW World Heavyweight Championship on the line against Cody, and that thing has the makings of being an instant classic. That's all I can say on that. So I can't wait to see it. The video package that they did of Cody, brilliantly done. That's all I'll say on that. That was top notch right there. So that's all I can say on that. Slight edge to the NXT match. I'll give that 4, and I'll give the AEW match about 3.25, 3.5. But Pete Dunne, watch those damn fingers, please. That's all. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, all I can say is, yeah, Pete Dunne definitely needs to watch those fingers. I mean, I got a feeling someone. I mean, every time he steps on those fingers, it's going to get broken somehow. I mean, just because of why he calls himself the Bruiserweight. So, but yeah, this as far as the main events go, the edge goes to NXT on this one. I'll give this the Pete Dunne Damian Priest match a 4-star match. I mean, yeah, I mean, Pete Dunne made Damian Priest look good here. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's really nothing more to say on that. And as far as the AEW World Title match, I'll give it about 3.5 stars as well. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to add to it. So, Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I'll give it to NXT. AEW was very predictable. Who wouldn't think that Jericho would find some way in the end to cheat to win, but of course everything was legal since it was a street fight. So Hager jumping in ended up being legal. But I do have to give some thumbs up to Darby. He definitely did some very impressive stuff, especially having his hands taped behind his back. There's a very, very impressive performance by him. The only other person I could compare that to would be Mick Foley. Anything that he would have even got close to doing, because that would be just up Mick Foley's alley to do something that crazy. So, yeah, I'll give that one probably about 3.25. Damian Priest and Pete Dunne, it started off slow, but it ended up being, good in the end. So that one, yeah, I'm going to give it about 3.75 stars. It was definitely it definitely ended up being a very interesting match. And yeah, I agree, with the finger a bit, but then of course, you also have Shayna Baszler who does the same, something very similar to it. So yeah, those finger bits can really make you cringe a little bit. So not much more I'm going to say about it. Fletch, it's yours.
All right, guys, it's time for the overall review. Who do you give the victory to this week when it comes to AEW or NXT? Who you got? Mike Bullock, you lead us off. Who's the winner?
And there is no right or wrong answer, Bullock. You're amongst friends. Don't worry about it.
No, there is no right or wrong answer.
Man, oh man, this is tough. I mean, both delivered on really good matches, but you did have some dud enhancement matches. But to me, I mean, I gotta give the slight edge to AEW on this one. I mean, I'm gonna give AEW. I'm gonna give it about maybe 7.5 to 8 out of 10 on this edition. I mean, all the matches were good. I mean, there was I think one, maybe two done enhancement matches, but all the other matches really did deliver. I mean, that were 3 to 3.5, maybe even more. And as far as NXT, I'm going to give it about maybe a 7 out of 10. So, but then again, you know what? You could say both of them won the week because, I mean, especially with NXT with the Keith Lee and the Djokovic match. I mean, it was good, but I mean, yeah, it was good. I mean, it could have been higher, but of course, Roderick Strong getting involved did take a little bit away. So I'm going to give the slight edge to AEW. But then again, guys, you could say both shows really won the week as far as I'm concerned. So, Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I'll give the win to AEW. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. They didn't have as many low points as NXT, and it almost seems like NXT is kind of falling in the WWE trap, where you've had all these dud enhancement type matches where we're just showcasing one superstar and only making them about 2-3 minutes long. Plus, they're trying to cram as many matches as they can into 2 hours, compared to AEW, who gives you a longer match and maybe a little more quality, I would think, in certain matches over NXT, who's trying to rush it. But yeah, I'll give 7.5 to NXT, and like I said, 8 to AEW. So yeah, they both shows were very good in certain points, and like I said, NXT hopefully isn't going to fall into the same trap that we've had with Raw and SmackDown in the past. But we need to get past these little dud enhancement matches and get back to the good stuff that we had when they were on the WWE Network. So not much more I'm going to say about it. Fletch, is yours.
Yes, I agree. I'm going to give the victory to AEW as well. 8.5 for me out of 10. But Michael Bullock does make a good point. NXT did very well, but I thought AEW was better, better quality matches. Plus, remember, there was 3 kind of cutaways in NXT, and there was no cutaways for AEW. So that's where I think that goes there. So nothing more to say. And Anthony, you round us out.
As far as NXT goes, the show had almost exactly the same amount of ring time as last week, though it was heavily skewed toward 3 matches, while 5 were dud enhancement affairs. There was some good to great fare peppered in, though this was clearly NXT continuing to slow down and establish the talent as they roll toward TakeOver War Games next month, the night before Survivor Series. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. So, I'm going to give that about 7.5 for NXT. AEW definitely wins here. I'm going to give it a solid 8. I think 8.5 is a little bit reaching, but but I think 8's the proper rating for the AEW. Pac and Moxley against Omega and Page, that was the clear fight of the night. We had all the other matches were solid to good to great. So, yeah, NXT, I mean, cramming all these matches. I mean, it's almost like on Friday Night SmackDown. I mean, they like the SmackDown premiere. I mean, they overloaded on matches where they should have just focused on all the heavily promoted matches. So now I understand they need to do like a showcase or two. I mean, 1 or 2 at least, that's okay. But 5? No. As the luge, Luigi PS3 would always say, nah, honey, no. Absolutely not. So because
this is like going down the route of like Raw or SmackDown, and we all know how those end up.
Well, I understand, but it's TV. I mean, the TVs are almost. I mean, even before the move to USA, the TVs weren't really all that special. I mean, once in a rare while, they would give us, an amazing quality matchup. But when it comes to NXT, the only thing we can honestly, truly look forward to are takeovers, because takeovers, there's no BS. There's no done enhancement fights. I mean, we get more.
Anytime there's a takeover, look out. They challenge I'll openly admit, I think sometimes the takeovers are even better than anything AEW even throws out. Like Fighter Fest or any event, they're the best in the world.
Would you say they're better than New Japan, MF?
You know what? Some events are better than New Japan. I'll agree. Not everything, but because I think New Japan's better than NXT. I think New Japan right now is the top organization in the world. Better than WWE, better than AEW, better than anything they throw. I would gladly say New Japan Pro Wrestling is number 1 in the world. And I think there's I think there will be quite a few people that will agree with me on that one. New Japan is the best. Bar none, hands down.
Wait till January in Wrestle Kingdom, baby.
2 nights.
Yep.
It's a 2-night affair. I can't believe it.
And Kota Ibushi with the moment of his lifetime. Well deserved. I can't wait to see it. Kota Ibushi challenging for the big prize. Oh, yeah. Against Okada. Woo. That's got 5 stars written all over it, baby.
And they said whoever wins that fight will have to defend the title the next night. So they've already announced it. Yeah. Whoever wins the IWGP heavyweight title will have to defend the title again the next night.
Amazing. So we'll see what both of those men are made of come January when we get to Wrestle Kingdom. But anyways, and look what the next takeover we got coming up is. It's War Games. War Games. And if the last 2 haven't been any indication, what are they going to have in store for us in the IWC capital of the world? Oh, that crowd's going to be rabid. That crowd's going to be rabid for 4 nights straight. It's going to start. It's going to start with MF and Friday Night SmackDown on the on November 22nd. November 23rd, War Games Takeover. November 24th, Survivor Series. And if I'm going to be honest, after all the draft stuff, I'm kind of hoping it stays Raw versus SmackDown. I want that. But if they don't, well, okay, that's fine. But I really want Raw and SmackDown one more time. That's just me. And then we round it out with, of course, Monday Night Raw. So and that ends it all on the 25th. So get ready, IWC capital of the world. Next month, you're going to be in for something really special. So get ready for those 4 nights. So, but for right now, it's AEW by a smidge here. The reason being, they didn't really have any done enhancement matches, whereas you had 5. 5. This isn't Monday Night Raw NXT. Come on now. That's all there is to say on that. So, but next week though, that big triple threat match for the North American title. That's appointment television right there, folks. That could be something really fun. And then from there, you throw in Baszler and Ripley, which could be a pseudo number one contenders match for the women's titles. So,
You mean Bianca Belair?
yeah, Bianca Belair, yes, and Rhea Ripley. So, nothing really more to say on this. 8 for AEW, about 7.5-ish for NXT. So, really nothing more to say. MF, I know you've got something else you need to get into.
Yeah, we're gonna go very quickly. We got NWA Power, episode 2, happened today, and well, happened yesterday, I should say. And what we had was Aaron Stevens, formerly Damian Sandow, made his debut in NWA, and yeah, I think he is definitely he's a heel. He talked about that he doesn't want to be looked at, so don't look at me and this and that. All right, fine, whatever. So next thing we had Ricky Starks going one-on-one with, who's this? Trevor Murdoch? Holy cow. All right. So Ricky Stark won the match, cut a nice little promo, not bad, pretty good. And then we had a tag team fight, Mr. Anderson and Cole Cabana versus Jordan Kingsley and Sal Renaro, and it was Mr. Anderson and Cole Cabana getting the victory. Then we had Ashley Fox and Allison Kay. Allison Kay, as many of you guys know, the reigning, defending, undisputed NWA Ladies World Champion. She won the match very easily. Then the next thing we had in our fourth fight was for the NWA World Tag Team titles, as it was Eddie Kingston and Homicide versus the Wild Cards, Royce Isaac and Thomas Lemire. When it was, the fight ended up in a no contest because the Dawson brothers came out and jumped the champions. Then after that, NWA World Champion Nick Aldis with the lovely Camille. Anthony, I know, I hear the gurge coming from you. Don't start. Then after that got interrupted as well because the interviewer, Joe Gala, was trying to get Camille to, to kind of, he was trying to ask her some questions, get some thoughts. Well, unfortunately, it didn't happen. So, unfortunately, nothing from Camille tonight, because if you notice in the last show, Nick Aldis accidentally clotheslined Camille outside of the ring, and we tried to answer some questions for Camille, and Aldis was basically answering for her. And we're like, let the woman speak. I want to hear from Camille. Is she okay? What's going on? But nothing. Nada. We got nothing from her. And it's just like, what is going on? And this baby girl is not a mute. There's no way she's a mute. This is not like China with Triple H back in the early DX days. I know she's got something on her mind. The body language tells us there's something on her mind. She wants to say something, but she teases us. That's all we're getting. We're getting nothing but this tease from Camille. But we'll wait and see what happens. Other than that, there's only one last thing we need to talk about. This is something that Derek Ferreira is very near and dear to the heart. And guys, tomorrow is a new episode of Uncharted Territory Season 2 for Beyond Wrestling. And here's the fight card, guys. We got David Starr versus Mercedes Martinez. Team Pazoo versus The Butcher and The Blade. Josh Briggs against Thomas Sharp. We got the Nick Cage Open Challenge. Then we got a Discovery Gauntlet. Tony Demper versus AJ Gray. Then in a big tag team fight, Anthony Green and Ava Everett will go up against Pretty Proper. And then in the main event, we got Brandon Thurston going one-on-one against Puff, and that will be going down, guys, next week, or I should say tomorrow. Tickets on sale right now for that show. It's going to be an 8 o'clock start time. And yes, you can see it on IWD TV Live. That's the way that you get it, or on any independent wrestling or promotion website. They should pay it. I think it's like about $9.95 for the event. But guys, trust me, Beyond Wrestling has been rising, and they're getting better. Uncharted Territory has become one of their amazing shows. And let me tell you, you are not going to regret it. It is an amazing show, to say the very least. All right, we're done for the night. Anthony Floyo, come on in. Hit us with what we like for tomorrow night and college football Thursday.
We got 3 big games on the docket. 3. First and foremost, you know MF, Michigan and Penn State. And oh, by the way, I can confirm it's going to be a whiteout. That's bad news for Michigan, if I'm going to be honest with you. Well, we'll get more into it tomorrow. And believe it or not, get this, guys, not 1, but 2 big games in the Pac-12. Yes, I said it, the Pac-12. You would think 2 big games, from the same conference? Oh, probably SEC, Big 10, Big 12. No, Pac-12's got 2 huge ones. Oregon against Washington and Arizona State against Utah. We're going to break that all down, plus the other big games of the week. Top 25, and that all goes down tomorrow night. Usual time, I'm guessing, gentlemen?
Yes, usual time.
All right.
Usual time.
All right, because I want to make sure we have the right time. So I want to make sure everybody gets situated with work commitments and all that good stuff. So that's why I ask every week. So, all right. So same time tomorrow for week number 8, I believe. Wow, at the halfway mark already. It's crazy how fast this has all gone by. It's unbelievable. So those 3 big games and so much more tomorrow night, week 8, College Football Thursday, right here. It'll be right over on my channel, Latone 25. And then Friday, we give it back to MF for the new Friday night Cerebral Smack Talk from Indianapolis. We'll see how that goes. And then Saturday, barring nobody gets sick or has any commitments or anything, we will have NFL Saturday, hopefully. And then start it right back with Ridiculously Raw, and off we go again. So that's your future content. So we'll see you tomorrow night, College Football Thursday. Gentlemen, I hope to see you both. So
you will.
Very good. So with all that being said, MF, let's put a bow on this thing.
All right. And as always, we want to thank you guys for making the show as incredible as it was. Like the video, leave a comment at the bottom, share it with all your friends on all social media platforms. And until then, I'm good old MF Michael Fletcher. Have a good night, everybody, and so long for now. Bye-bye.